Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Akakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, where learn this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Today I just want to go into, the so-called polar vortex. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. And it says the polar vortex is a large area of low pressure and cold air surrounding both the Earth's poles. It always exists near the poles but weakens in the summer and strengthens in winter. The term vortex refers to the counterclockwise flow of air that keeps the colder air near the poles. And pretty much, as of, the past couple of days, it's pretty much going to be a winter storm, throughout the entire U.S., This is from the New York Times. It says, what is the polar vortex and other cold weather climate questions? As much as the United States plunges into a deep freeze, scientists continue to debate how rapid Arctic warming is playing a role. The polar vortex is descending on the midsection of the United States, bringing bitterly cold Arctic air, causing temperatures to plunge rapidly in many areas. The deep freeze will be accompanied by a major snowstorm that is expected to cause travel chaos. The vortex is a large rotating expanse of cold air that generally circles the Arctic but occasionally shifts south from the pole. Vortex-related cold snaps occur regularly in the United States. One of the most damaging occurred in February of 2021 when the frigid air reached deep into Texas, resulting in temperatures that were as much as 40 degrees Fahrenheit below normal. The freeze led to at least 250 deaths and caused extensive damage to the United States power infrastructure. As global emissions of heating, trapping carbon dioxide continue, the Arctic is warming nearly 4 times faster than other parts of the planet. According to the latest analysis, the region's sea ice coverage is shrinking, so when the vortex meanders southward, 2 basic questions arise. What role, if any, does climate change play, and will extreme freezes increase as warming continues? And yes, it's pretty much what's taking place, right now. Because as it shows right here, normally up north, usually where the cold air comes from, the North Pole. But it shift downward, sweeping through the entire United States. So, it's going to be a large snowstorm, here in Michigan. It's supposed to be, we're supposed to get 6 to 8 inches of snow, because of this polar vortex, but temperatures are dropping, throughout the entire country. But I'm not gonna go too long. I'm just gonna bring out a couple of scriptures, Lord willing. This lesson again is edifying and straight to the point. And I'm gonna go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 43, and I'm gonna start at verse 16. And it says, "At his sight the mountains are shaken, and at his will the south wind bloweth. The noise of the thunder maketh the earth to tremble, so doth the northern storm and the whirlwind. As birds flying, he scattereth the snow, and the falling down thereof is as the lighting of grasshoppers. The eye marveleth at the beauty of the whiteness thereof, and the heart is astonished at the raining of it. The hoarfrost also as salt he poureth on the earth, and being congealed it lieth on the top of sharp stakes. When the cold north wind bloweth, and the water is congealed into ice, it abideth upon every gathering together of water, and clothe the water as with a breastplate. Even though this is pretty much Slovakia. It's pretty much going into, creation. Still this is still what's taking place, that cold north wind, was blowing across Babylon the Great. That's pretty much what's taking place. Ultimately, people are gonna say, it was because of Esau Edom and his heart program, which could be true, but ultimately, it's the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that's bringing this cold air through, I'm gonna jump down to verse 28, and it says, how shall we be able to magnify him? For he is great above all his works. Yes, for he is great above all his works. The Lord is terrible and very great and marvelous in his power. When ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. Who hath seen him, that he might tell us, and who can magnify him as he is? There are yet hid greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. For the Lord made all things, and to the godly hath he given wisdom. And yes, as it stated, the Lord, he made all things ultimately, just like this storm that's going to sweep through, the U.S. Ultimately, this is, a judgment that's going to sweep through, the United States. This is the Lord showing, one of his many marvelous works, because ultimately these storms, that happen throughout the United States, whether it be, rainstorms, tornadoes, hurricanes, such, wildfires, these are ultimately from the Lord, because, he's angry with this place. But, the point being is that, this is what's happening, an extreme wind, from the north is going to sweep through the United States, pretty much causing the entire United States, to experience cold weather. So, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I say Shalom.